Breaking news. The presidency meets with China's cyber regulator to build Nigerian internet firewall. On Saturday morning between 11 a.m. and 12 p.m. as Nigerians woke up to the reality of a Twitter ban and downloading virtual private network, which is a VPN, to access Twitter, the Nigerian government, through the Office of the Presidency, reached out to the Cyberspace Administration of China (CAC) to discuss plans to build an internet firewall, FIG as length. The government officials present at the meeting include Ibrahim Gambari, the Chief of Staff to the President, and Lai Mohammed, Minister of Information and Culture. The Internet Firewall is a way of having a separate network for the Nigerian internet that will give the government control over social media platforms such as Twitter and Facebook. This is similar to the internet filtering system China operates, called the Great Firewall. According to CFR, the Great Firewall is the center of the government's online censorship and surveillance efforts. Its methods include bandwidth throttling, keyword filtering, and blocking access to certain websites. The Reporters Without Borders states that the firewall makes large-scale use of deep packet inspection technology, an advanced method of examining and managing network traffic. The Nigerian government seeks to establish the Nigerian internet, which it will also control likewise. A digital security expert told FIG that China is the only country that deploys total deep packet inspection over its cyberspace. The technology involves making use of lots of manpower. Well, the internet firewall will also give the Nigerian government power to block VPN, which many Nigerians are using to access Twitter. The CAC is the Central Internet Regulator, Censor, Oversight and Control Agency for China, and answers to the Central Cyberspace Affairs Commission headed by Xi Jinping, China's president. Since its existence, the CAC, which also gives approval to data by Chinese companies outside of China, regulates usernames on the Chinese internet, licenses new information services, and bans comments that harm national security or harm the nation's honor interest. Wall Street Journal reported that people in the online arm of the Communist Party's People Daily's newspaper offer content moderation as a service. The chairman of People CN predicted that censorship in China will grow to a $70 billion industry. The Nigerian government has in the past few years sought a way to control freedom of expression online. Towards the end of 2015, the frivolous petition bill targeting online and print media as well as regulating social media posts was introduced into the Senate just 10 months after Buhari's ascent to power. In 2019, lawmakers introduced two bills: the National Commission for the Prohibition of Hate Speech Bill and the Protection from Internet Falsehood and Manipulation and Other Related Offenses Bill, prompting public outcry that meant they were not passed into law. This was, however, not the only effort the Nigerian government made in controlling online speech and spying on its citizens. In November 2017-21, pro-Biafra websites were taken down on the orders of the Nigerian Communications Commission (NCC). FIG learned that the government had explored using open source intelligence (OSINT) between 2018 and 2019 to track down Biafra agitators and supporters, as well as government critics on social media. Intelligence agencies make use of OSINT to track people or events. The Nigerian government had reached out to Bellingcat Investigators, a British investigative journalism website that specializes in OSINT, but they declined to work with the Nigerian government. FIG learned that Bellingcat was approached to give OSINT training to the Nigerian intelligence community to develop local capacity for open source investigation. The Nigerian government had sold the angle of national security and fighting terrorism to Bellingcat, but that wasn't at the top of the government's priority. Bellingcat later discovered that the purpose of the training was to hunt down civilians and those who spoke negatively against the government, and not Boko Haram terrorists as claimed by the Nigerian government. The terrorists in this case were pro-Biafra supporters. Bellingcat has been reported to say what the U.S. intelligence can't, which includes exposing Russian activities. Well, can you see that this our federal government of Nigeria? They are so full of themselves. They are stupid and they are all political bigots. No, now you got this a priority from Bellingcat. Let me read it again. The Nigerian government sold an angle of national security and fighting terrorism. They are supposed to fight terrorism, fight Boko Haram, which are the terrorists, the real terrorists. But in the other hand, they said Bellingcat later discovered that the purpose of the training was to hunt down civilians and those who spoke negatively against the government, and not Boko Haram terrorists as claimed by the Nigerian government. The terrorists now they are facing, they thought it was Boko Haram, but later the terrorists now in the case were pro-Biafra supporters. Bellingcat has been reported to say what the U.S. intelligence can't, which includes exposing Russia activities. FIJ said the NSAS protest in 2020 was made the government more desperate to control the cyberspace. The conversation about the Nigerian firewall started during the NSAS protest. The government needed a legal framework through which it could carry out its actions, he said. That legal framework will serve as a justification for their actions. Mostly, the rhetoric of the government uses, including Friday's suspension of Twitter, was around Nigerians' unity and national security. A 2020 report titled "Running in Circles: Uncovering the Client's Cyber Espionage Firm, Circle," and meanwhile by the Citizens Lab of the University of Toronto, showed that Nigeria's Defense Intelligence Agency had recruited the services of Circles in 2015 and 2017 to spy on its citizens and track down government critics. Nigeria's surveillance capability ranked high on the continent. In 2018, the Office of the National Security Advisor (ONC) was allocated $12.8 million for the Transvisky project. Other budget allocation intended to increase the surveillance capabilities of both the ONSA and the Department of State Security, which is DSS, included a social media mining suit, government next generation surveillance drone. Freedom House, a US-based advocacy group, revealed that the surveillance projects such as the project still receive allocation in the 2019 and 2020 budget proposal. As you can see, our Nigerian government are so weak in their dissemination of administration. See what has been exposed about them. You are meant to salvage the situation in the north, by the people that are terrorizing the peace of the land. Instead, you want to divert your surveillance to that of the Biafran people. Yes, that's where it is, and it has been cleared, and everybody has known, the world has known the secret behind the federal government of today attacking and hunting the Biafra just because they are agitating for referendum, and meanwhile their governance is just bad and evil, and their intention is bad towards the citizens of the country. So if US or the foreign and developed country we want to help us, we need to solve our internal problem. Well, a ban of Twitter has really, is like a wake-up call for the US, United Nations, European Union to help Nigeria in salvaging the situation of insecurity, because the government of today, they are the cause of insecurity that is ravaging our land in Nigeria.